Hey, Walt here from StogieReview.com with another video cigar review. Ooh, a little much too much smoke through the sinus there, first thing in the morning. And we are smoking the Oliva Serie V Maduro Especial 2013. So if you're not really up to speed on this particular cigar, a few years back Oliva came out with this Serie V lineup, the Liga Especial, and it was wildly popular. Everyone loved it. Fantastic medium to full-bodied cigar. Did tremendously well right from the start. After a couple of years, probably a year or two maybe, I think back in like 2008, 2009, somewhere around there, they decided to do a limited production Maduro spin-off of that cigar. So they take that cigar, I don't know whether they tweaked the blend a little bit or not, slapped the Maduro wrapper on it, and called it, limited release. Well, guys like me who were, in love with that Serie V, were all over it. We kind of fell in love with the concept. I had really good luck with all things Maduro from Oliva, and 9 times out of 10, I was picking up the Maduro version of any cigar from Oliva. So I was really excited about it, and couldn't wait to get my hands on it. That first cigar was released, and it was everything I hoped it was going to be. Just a tremendously flavorful, wonderful cigar. Now, the little bit of a downside here is that every year when these cigars come out, they're different. So this cigar doesn't taste quite like last year's cigar, and 2012 doesn't taste quite like 2011, and 2011 doesn't taste quite like 2010. So there's variations from year to year, and in the couple of year run that this cigar has had, there's only been one year where there was kind of a lull, and I'm really glad that we're away from that. Just one year it kind of sucked. It just wasn't really all that great. It didn't live up to the previous year's hype or expectations. So now that we're down past that little bit of a valley, we've had some really good releases over the last couple of years, and one of the things that I'm most happy with is the change in shape. Initially, these cigars only came in a bellicoso format, and I have issues with torpedoes from Oliva. They're just always too tight, and they just drive me crazy. So when they got away from the torpedo shape and went to a Parejo shape, I was really happy about that. And that first year was just amazing. That all of the draw issues that I was having were gone like that with this new shape. You got more smoke through the cigar. It just seemed like it was more flavorful as a result, and I've been really happy with that. Also, in addition, that first year that they went Parejo, I thought was one of the best years yet. So, additionally, each year has a different shape, or not so much a different shape, but a different size. I don't know that there have ever been... sorry, I got a text message there. I don't know that there have ever been same cigar, same release, same size kind of a thing. This is a double Robusto. It's a 5x54. I think last year it was a larger cigar, maybe a little bit smaller ring gauge, but larger format. I think it may have been Toro or something like that. I'd have to kind of look back through the records. I've had all of them, but I really like this format from Oliva. This double Robusto Parejos are really good. So with that said, I should probably smoke this cigar a little bit. I've got some errands to run this morning. It's really early, and I'll be back. We'll talk a little bit more about the cigar. But actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's talk about first impressions. The draw is phenomenal. It is better than the Melanio Maduro, which is great. It tastes a little cruder, a little rougher than the Melanio Maduro, and I'm only comparing it because I did the Melanio Maduro review a day or two ago, and so it's kind of fresh in my mind. But flavor profile is intense. It's full flavored. It's medium to full bodied. It's kind of easy on the palate. Again, we're like less than a quarter of an inch into this thing, so this is really preliminary stuff here. This has got a little punch through the sinus, but it's off to a really good start. So I'm going to stop gabbing, turn the camera off. I'll be back shortly, and we'll see how this Oliva Serie V Maduro Especial is going. Well, I'm approaching the halfway point on my Oliva Serie V Maduro Especial, and just enjoying this thing a lot. Just fantastic burn characteristics, construction, good easy draw, mouthfuls of smoke. It's nice and thick, coats the palate well. It's got a nice creamy finish. The burn line's thin and even. Even with me out running errands at pre-dawn hours, and the cigar sitting in my car ashtray for a couple minutes while I ran inside, came back out, picked it up, and it was still going. So no touch-ups whatsoever required on this, even when left unattended for a couple of minutes. And there's really just nothing bad to say about this in the construction or burn department. Flavor-wise, it's really good. It's full-flavored, still medium to full-bodied, creamy finish. The flavor profile that I'm getting out of it is kind of like a lingering bitterness. It's the type of bitterness where you kind of take a puff, you blow the smoke out. You can taste the bitterness immediately, but then even after a few seconds, a minute, you can still taste a little bit of that bitterness. It just kind of drags on, and I really don't mind it. Through the sinus, I'm getting a little bit of like a peppery punch, a little bit of a spiciness on the palate. There's a little bit of a leathery taste. And I haven't even taken a sip of coffee yet, and I can already taste the coffee out of the cigar, so I can't imagine this not going well with a cup of coffee. So I'm kind of eager to get started on the coffee. But we're off to a really, really good start, and these things just get better and better every year. I'm just really happy with the Serie V Maduro lineup. There was one year that was kind of a dud. But aside from that, ever since the switch over to the Parejo, I think that these are one of the best cigars for the money. But again, we have half a cigar yet to smoke, so I don't want to gush over it too much too early. So sit tight. I'll be back. We'll take a look at my final impressions of the cigar, and then I'll let you be on your way. Well, it's about time to close out this review of the Oliva Serie V Maduro Especial 2013, and I gotta say, this cigar is nothing short of superb. I'm of the belief right now that there is no better start to the day than waking up and having a Serie V Maduro with a cup of coffee. It is just very blissful. Good, solid flavors, medium to full-bodied. It doesn't have a lot of strength, so even at this early, I started this cigar around maybe 5:30 a.m. It's coming up on 7 a.m. now. And I'm not feeling woozy or sick from having a full-bodied cigar this early. It's just been a really good experience, and I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on some more of these Serie V Maduros. I'm not quite sure how long they're going to last on store shelves, but I would imagine you'll see them pretty regularly for another maybe 3 or 4 months, and then they'll start to taper off, and then we'll be in that big long wait again where we're anticipating IPCPR and then the release of the 2014 blend. But again, the 2013 has been awesome. I think it may even be better than last year's. It's really tough to compare because I don't have one from each year to go back and sort of experiment and compare one to the other. So it's tough to try to remember what the flavor profile was from last year and compare this experience with the last experience. And even so, I think I actually enjoyed this one more than I did the 2012 blend. So stellar cigar, most definitely worth the the $8-9 that they charge for them. They come in boxes of 10, so it makes it a little easier to pick up a box if you see them available. It's a little harder to come by full boxes of 10 in your cigar shop unless they're a larger Oliva account and sort of get that flow in on a regular basis. But definitely something that you should check out and get your hands on if possible. That's going to do it for the review. There wasn't a whole lot of flavor change going on. The cigar got a little richer as we moved along, but still, full flavored, medium to full bodied, easy on the palate, nice creamy finish, and the flavor profiles are more or less the same. I don't want to say it's a one-dimensional cigar, but there wasn't a whole lot of variation in the flavor profile, just changes in richness, not so much dedicated flavors. So good, solid cigar, very happy with it, and that's going to do it. So until next time, happy smoking.